さようなら。私に高すぎます。自分の価値知っているでしょ。契約通り時間が終わります。これは締め切りで君の解放。
1秒前の瞬き取り残された世界羽ばたけるなら彼に伝えておはようございます、皆さん。So it's finally over. For some of you, it might be as long as 11 years. For me, it must be what, 5? After years of shilling for this manga, hating the protagonist, coming to love the protagonist, and then going back to hating him again. It's finally over. I have to say, I never thought I'd be this disappointed. I mean, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, where were we? I mean, I don't know, this is somewhere in the last last couple of arcs, really. Anywhere since the time skip at least. I mean, if not long before that. I don't think any of us could have known that Shingeki no Kyojin ending wouldn't make us cry, but make us laugh. Sometimes both. Sometimes both. Now, no one really needs me to analyze anything that's being written, anything in the manga. And that's not what this video is about. This is only going to be a few minutes of me coping with my feelings of disappointment and resentment. And hopefully by watching me, you can learn to accept those feelings as well. This is a cope video. Grab that copium IV drip. Look, it's not all bad. This is where the spoilers start. So, it's not all bad, right? On some level, I think we all knew that the rumbling had to stop at some point, probably with much greater purpose, with a greater design, with a better plan, but we probably knew that it had to end at some point. I mean, did it have to end with cringe vengers? I mean, personally, the point where I realized that things were going to be very bad is chapter 137, where it became painfully obvious that they were going for the cringe vengers ending. That's it, fellas. That's it. We called it a masterpiece. We said it would be studied for years to come, and it gave us the power of friendship ending. I mean, we had these little discussion threads on a group in Facebook, and I remember saying that after chapter 137, I was irritated, I was frustrated, I didn't want to watch the anime, I just felt lost. And then I realized SNK isn't a tragedy, it's now a comedy. I mean, when you really think about it, it's probably all part of Aaron's plan. Aaron knew that we'd be sad to see the manga go, so he gave us a mediocre ending, so now we're all laughing. Thank you, Aaron. I shilled for this manga. I got other people to read this manga. Look, I knew that they would never go for the time loop ending, and because that's not freedom. And I mean, it was predictable that the curse of Ymir would be lifted. But then I remember some people saying that maybe Falco would go on to inherit all the Titans and be a messenger of peace or something. What I did predict, and what was quite predictable, and what was personally okay for me, is that the final Titanization by the spine was undone. That makes a lot of sense, because, I mean, regardless of how we feel about it, it didn't make much sense for those characters to be turned into Titans at the very end and then killed. Okay, fine with that. It's also, it makes sense that the Paradise would still have enemies, right? Even with 80% of the world destroyed. That's a significant number, and it's clear that Eren has at least leveled the playing field. Historia and her children will not have to be Titans, and Farmer Kun is the father. I'm not exactly sure how successful Admin has been as commander, but okay, doesn't really matter. Hey, Reiner is still alive. There's another prediction. And let's face it, time loop would be unrealistic. Well, if not unrealistic. The time loop theory wouldn't be in keeping with the idea of freedom, and the school life theory and the Madagascar theory didn't really make that much sense. For real though, did our boy turn himself into a bird? Was that just him sending his consciousness into the future for a few minutes? Was that just a random bird? Does it make sense that I mean, okay, I get birds, but does it make sense that Eren would be like a bird for real and then live a natural life as a bird? So probably not, right? So it might be safe to conclude that he's not a bird. Oh man. There's still a lot left unexplained. I do not know why Ymir had to, send a message to Mikasa when Eren seemed to be the one freeing her from bondage. Who was controlling who, really? Ymir, King Fritz, Mikasa, Eren. Also, it makes exactly zero sense that Eren would send Dinah to eat his mother. Because the way I saw it, that was almost random violence, and it was emblematic of the kind of violence that Aaron's nation had to face. And I believe that he wasn't angry that his mother died anymore, but he was angry that people like his mother would have to keep dying. But now we know he killed his mother, so, I mean, this has sent someone to kill his mother, which, if he was that much in control, then what was all this about? I mean, if it's obvious that Aaron wanted the Prince Ventures to kill him, or he'd have taken away their titanization, but maybe Bertolt had to live, but after that maybe he wasn't really in control. Is it kind of a time loop if Aaron made sure that his mother was eaten? So at least now we know where Rico has been, and we've seen Hitch. What an ending, right guys? What an ending.